Good morning, guys. GImp, TWC GImp class, lesson 3. So create a new document, 500 by 150, set the resolution to 150. Set the background to black. Duplicate the layer. And then on the duplicated layer, go render clouds, difference clouds, and set it to about 1010. In X and Y. Click OK and get something like that. Change the layer mode to overlay and forget about it for a little while. Create a new layer, call it medium line, and using the rectangle tool, make a rectangle about 4 pixels high and bucket fill it, color it white. And then we're going to center this, so you can either just place it or you can auto crop it, align it to the center, and then reset it to the image size. We're going to redo that. We're going to make a new one, call it small line. Using the rectangle tool again, we're going to make an even smaller line, about a pixel. Bucket fill it. Layer, auto crop, line it, there we go, and then set it to image size. Selecting the medium line again, take the pencil tool and pick the smallest solid circle. Okay, not the fuzzy circles, the regular circles. Close, and then draw some lines. So click your button, and then click your button and hold Well, Gimp's being a retard. Alright. Click your button, hold shift. Jeez. Holding shift, click down. Make some lines like that, just randomly. More or less random. That might be okay. So, next we're going to duplicate that line, say 4 times. And the first one we're going to call it medium line, and then we're going to rename it to blur 5, blur 15, blur 30, blur 45, and this last one can be blur 60. So after we've renamed these layers, we're going to do exactly what we've done, or what we said we're going to do here. So filter, blur, Gaussian. And I'm going to set that one to 60. Crazy. Set that one to 45. $30. $15. and 5. And it should get something like that. Next, create a new layer. Call it saturation, transparency, click OK. Move it up above everything. Select the blend tool and pick the gradient full saturation. And make a straight line right across and get like that. And put it on color and get something trippy like that. I actually think I'm gonna duplicate the 5 layer again because it's got the littlest blur. Move it down, and I'm gonna apply another blur to it. Say 75. Next, we're going to take that, take the difference cloud layer that we selected and move it up to the top, just below the saturation, and it should be set to overlay. And now you can actually see what it does. It's kind of blurring everything even more. Kind of neat. So now, on those medium blur layers, we're going to lower the opacity just a bit to around 80. On each layer. And leave the small line. Don't lower the opacity of the small line. Well, you can if you want. Required. So there you got the basics of the SIG. Next, we're going to take a font and get you to write your name. And once you've done writing your name, you can set the font to the font that I made you download, Arabian Nights. And you can make it whatever size you want. Say around, well, you don't want it too big. You don't want it too small at the same time. Play with it a bit. So yeah, set it however you want. And then take that text that you just made, that layer, set it to image size, and then duplicate it 4 times. And rename it left, right, up, and down. And we're going to do something. Blur, motion blur. This is the down one, so I'm going to set the angle to 270, so it goes straight down, and we'll set it to around 10. Do that for the up. Except this one's going to be 90 degrees. Right would be 180. And left would be 0.